Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. For today, we're going to be making this super cute little congratulations card. So I think this is really cute for like a baby shower, but you could also use it for a bridal shower because the colors are nice and fun. You could really use this for anything, and you could change the greeting to whatever you want to change up the theme and the purpose of the card. But this is what we're going to be making for today. So we are going to need a few different things. The first thing that we're going to be using is obviously the Foxy Friends stamp set, and then I think this is the Foxy Builder, the Fox Builder Punch. I can't remember what it is, but all of the products will be linked on the coordinating blog post, which is the first link down below in the description bar, and it'll have the exact name there. I can never remember the names of the punches because they're not actually on there. But these two go together. They're actually a bundle in the annual catalog, so definitely check those out. We are also going to be using the Balloon Celebration stamp set, and that's just because Foxy Friends doesn't actually have any sentiments in it, and I like the scriptiness, and I really liked this congratulations, so I decided to go ahead and use that, but you can use whatever sentiments you want. For ink, we're going to be using 3 different colors for today. We're going to be using Calypso Coral, move some stuff out of the way, Smoky Slate, and Basic Black. We're also going to be using the, what is this? Smoky Slate Stitched Ribbon, I think. Yes, Smoky Slate Stitched Ribbon. We're going to be using this. I love this. It's so darling. And we're also going to be using the Layering Circles Framelits, which means we're going to be using the Big Shot. We are, I forgot to put this in my little stack here, but we're going to be using a little Foxy Designer Series paper stack. We're going to be using this pattern right here, and this piece is cut at 4 3/4 by 3.5 inches. We're going to be using a piece of Pool Party, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 1 inch. We then have a few different pieces of Whisper White. We have this little tiny strip here, and this is cut at 3.5 inches by 3/4 inch. So it's just a little tiny strip. And then we have this piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I have a couple of scrap pieces of Whisper White here to do our fox on and all of that fun stuff. So just a couple of scraps. And then we have a piece of Calypso Coral, which is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 to make an A2 size card. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this card's actually really easy to put together. It looks a little complicated, but it's really not that bad. The first thing that we're gonna do is stamp our little fox image, and we're gonna be using Calypso Coral for this. And I have 2 separate pieces, scrap pieces. You don't need 2 scrap pieces. I just happen to have it, so that's what I'm using. You need 1 piece that's a little bit larger so that we can do this circle here. So that's what I'm going to use this piece for. And I'm going to go ahead and just ink up my little fox and go ahead and stamp him on that piece. Now, one thing that I have noticed with this stamp set is that sometimes I have issues with getting a nice clean solid image, so I'm actually going to bring in just a mouse pad. If you have the Stampin' Up! Pierce mat, definitely use that. I like using a mouse pad because it's nice and thin. It still gives you that give, but it's not super thick, so I like using that. And I just got ink all over my block. Okay, I think he is stamped up, and let me just wipe away that edge. Just like that. And then I'm going to stamp this kind of in the middle and just down and up. And there's that. That is our little fox. Now we're going to take our same stamp. We're going to stamp this a second time. And the only thing that we're really focusing on with this one is the head, because we're actually going to cut the head out using the punch and make him a little dimensional. So I'm just going to take this scrap piece of paper that I have lying around, and I'm going to really just stamp his little face. That's, like I said, that's all we're really concerned about with that piece. So now we have that. I'm going to take our Calypso Coral. You don't need the Calypso Coral for anything else unless you wanted to use it for the grading. You could definitely do that instead of the Smoky Slate. But I think using Smoky Slate kind of brings all of the colors back together, and it kind of makes everything really nice and cohesive. So the next thing that we're going to do is take, actually we can move the mouse pad out of the way because the rest is stamps pretty well. We're going to be using our basic black ink and our little legs and the little eyes. So for the legs, we're going to take those and use basic black, and those are going to go on the larger fox. So I'm just going to kind of line it up as best as I can, down and straight up, just like that. And I'm going to set that off to the side to set for just a second. Oh, I still need basic black. Why am I closing that? Silly me. And then we're going to take the little eyes. There's actually like 3 sets of eyes. I don't know where I just put that stamp set at. There's 3 sets of eyes, and this is the, oh wait, now that I'm about to say that, this is the set that is, the nose and the eyes are like the closest together. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the middle one. We'll just put it that way. Anyways, you can use whichever works best for you, whichever one you like the most, really. And I'm just going to take this and stamp it with the little nose right on that point of where the Calypso coral is. So now we're done with our basic black and can set this off to the side. We're then going to bring in our layering circles framelits. Open these up. And I can't remember which size I used. Let me see. Was it this one? No, that one's too big. Maybe it was this one, I think. That looks about right. So I think that is the 3rd largest circle. I'm pretty sure that's what it is that we're using. Set those off to the side. I'm going to take my little fox here, and I'm just going to take some washi tape, and I'm going to center my little foxy guy right in the middle of my circle. Put a little piece of washi there. Scooch him off to the side and bring in my big shot. And put him down. Put my little plate on top and crank it through. Okay, and that's all we need the big shot for. That's the only cutting that we're doing, is just to cut our little fox out. Okay, so now we have our little fox in his little circle. Super cute. The next thing that we're going to do to finish our fox is take the piece that we have just his head, and we're going to use the punch, and we're going to stick this all the way down into the punch. The face is at the very bottom, so you have to put it all the way down, and we're just going to cut this out. And I'm sorry if you guys can't really see this. I'm trying to make sure I line it up perfectly. And we're just going to punch that out. All of these little bits that come out with it, you don't need any of those. So I'm just going to shove those off to the side. And now I'm throwing stuff around. And we're going to go ahead and put our little face on to our little circle guy. And where are my dimensionals? There they are. I'm going to use maybe 2 dimensionals. Can I fit 2 on here? Yeah. Just going to put 2 dimensionals on there like that. And put the little head right on top of the head that's already there. And it just gives it a nice 3-dimensional look. And it adds a little bit of interest to the card. That's really the only reason that we do it. You don't have to do that if you don't have the punch, or if you just want it to be flat. You could just stamp the eyes on the base piece, and you don't have to do that step. I just think it adds a little bit of interest to the card. So we're going to take this little guy and set him off to the side because we don't need him right now. We're going to finish, or not finish, but we're going to go ahead and assemble all of our pieces for our card. So we're going to take, we don't actually need the white piece right now. We have our piece of DSP, excuse me, and we're going to use the cheater method. I can't find my roll of Scotch tape. I looked for it, and then I just said forget it, and I needed to film this video, so I am going to be using washi tape. So if you have washi tape and you can't find some Scotch tape and want to do this card or want to use the cheater method, go for it. Definitely works. but I'm having an issue with my washi. There we go. So you just need 2 little pieces, just like that. And we're going to take our roll. Actually, I'm going to stick them to my desk just so it's a little bit easier. We're going to take our roll, and I leave it attached to the spool. I just find that I use less ribbon that way. And I'm going to start it off at about, oh, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way. And I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and tape this side down so it's a little bit easier to work with. So I'm just putting that piece right there. And I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. You don't want it to come down too much. Actually, I think I started that a little too high. Let me see. Probably right about there is good. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. I just moved it down a little bit. I moved the starting point down. Okay, as I was saying, so you're going to do that, and you're just going to bring it down in a diagonal just slightly. So it's going to go down just a little bit, not too much. Then we're going to wrap it around the back, and you're going to have it come down on the bottom side of this first piece that you did, and then crisscross up at the top. I'm going to grab some scissors and cut off a little tail just like that. Fiddle with my little crisscross, bring it over and tape down the back piece. And there we have our little ribbon. Now because this is DSP, it's not super thick, so it does kind of curl up just a little bit, but once we adhere everything down, it won't be an issue. Which we're going to do now, so you won't even know. Just flip it over. I'm going to just take some regular snail adhesive to adhere this. Nothing fancy. And we're going to take our white piece and put this on our white piece. Just like that. And see, once we adhere it down, it doesn't bow anymore and it looks perfect. I'm going to grab my card base and I need my bone folder. Go ahead and fold this in half. Just like that. I'm going to take this piece and go ahead and adhere it down as well. And this is a little bit of a thicker border than I usually do, so I thought I'd just mix it up a little bit for today. So I guess we should do our greeting, our sentiment. I totally spaced that part out. Losing it, guys. So we're going to take our 2 little strips of, we have one of Whisper White and one of Pool Party. And I'm going to grab this and my smoky slate ink. I was going to get ready to put our little fox down, but I can't put the fox down until we do our little banner. So I'm just going to take my congratulations and I'm going to stamp it on the piece of Whisper White. I'm not doing it all the way over to the left-hand side, but I am definitely doing it closer to the left than I am doing to the right. And that is it for that. Again, you could use any color of ink, you could use any sentiment, any greeting, whatever you want to use. I just liked this combination. I like the script, and the smoky slate ties in with this sweet. So that's why I did that. Just put a piece of snail on the back of that. And then we're going to adhere this down to our piece of Pool Party to give it a nice little border. Now we can start assembling. So I'm going to take this, put some more snail on the back of that, and I'm going to set this down to the bottom left-hand side, right under where we had our little ribbon, just like that. Then we're going to take our little fox, and wherever I put my dimensionals, here they are, flip him over and put some dimensionals on the back. I like to do 4 just to make sure that it stays really nicely. Oh man, I cut my nails and now I have a hard time getting the little backings off, but I did it. Move those dimensionals out of the way. And then I'm just going to put our little fox down. I'm going to put him in where the 2 strands cross. That's where I'm going to put him, and I'm going to have him kind of shadow over our little banner just a little bit. Just like that. Put our little dimensionals down. And there's our card for today, guys. It's super quick, super easy. You could crank these out super fast. If you wanted to use these as like a thank you for a baby shower, you could get a thank you sentiment and use that and crank these out super quick. It doesn't take that long at all. You can definitely mass produce these. So that is an awesome part of this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's card, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.